Hello everybody, second episode of Freediving Tribe. Today we are here with Gus at Gus Place at Touchdown. Gus, Lithuanian freediver, national record holder if I'm right.
Yes, many.
But right now is 105 meter constant rate, I think.
It's unofficial. Official one is 101 constant weight because there was a small mistake during the performance of 105, so I got a red card, I think.
Oh no!
Yeah, no, because I was holding the rope, and when I was turning into the dive, I put my airways in the water before I released the rope. This is a very stupid mistake, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm good. I was happy I made it. Like that's what matters for me most. That you can smash the dive. The card is something secondary. It's nice to have a white card. But to be able to really execute the dive and you're happy with the way it went. This is really important.
Card is the extra.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks for having me. Thanks for having time for a little interview.
Always pleasure.
Not everybody knows you, so I would say explain yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay.
I will have some more chocolate.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel, for this. We can chin chin. Yes. So, thank you very much, first of all, Daniel, for allowing me to, inviting me to be a guest in your podcast show. My name is Gus Kreivenas. I'm from Lithuania. I'm a national record holder. Exactly what you said. My background was a welder. One day I decided to change my life.
Where?
I used to work in England. And I just got really tired, and I decided to do something for myself, So, long story short, I started to freedive, and it really hooked me because I used to do that when I was young. Actually, now my parents get really frustrated that they didn't catch it early enough in my life, because there was let's say signs of that I needed to be in the water, because I was like spending hours and hours in the water, always like trying to be underwater, holding my breath,
So somehow now they regret it. Maybe you would have become the next Alex, eh?
Would maybe yes, and even. I would terrorize my family, to ask them to come and take time and multiple times. I'll try again and and just kept holding my breath in the bath or like somewhere in the river and stuff, So.
How old have you been there? What was the age?
Since early age, like really, really early.
Like 7, 10, something?
Since I remember. I used to spend hours, like really hours and hours. Like my parents used to complain because I was using a lot of water, and at that time it was really like expensive. Everybody was trying to save the water as much as possible, and I was just like filling the bath with water, and then as soon as the water is cold I feel it more hot and just stay hours, like really 2-3 hours in the bath. Yes, and so I had an infinite urge to stay in the water, to swim, to hold my breath, And one day I found freediving and got super submerged into it. Like I believe I never ever was interested in something that much in my life, Like really, I become obsessed, I was just like, whoa. And I tried to get to understand every aspect of this process, and it's a long-term process, I'm still working on it. The more you get into it, the more things you find that you need to know and understand and to be able to manipulate, but step by step, like there's ups and downs, and like sometimes I think that I get like maybe even crazy a little bit because they say about these people that
you're crazy. Yeah, they also say.
Yeah. No, I mean, the more I learn, the more I understand that I don't understand the whole thing,
Anything.
And I'm just like, sometimes I get these moments, I'm like, yeah, now I understand, I got it, like, that's all you need to do and it's gonna be amazing, and then, I don't understand this topic, or I don't understand that topic. But I think this is completely normal, and everybody is going through a similar journey, and so as we keep evolving, as we keep learning, we just get better and better and understanding. And the most important is that since the beginning, I was like very happy with sharing the knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
So I really like to share my understandings about the topic, and so maybe that's what made me, decent
Coach, freediver,
guide, decent guide, and because I suggest and recommend and share the knowledge and ideas, and it turns to be a good. Good points at the right time that helps people to progress and understand freediving. And at some point of my career, I really understood that quite a few people don't understand things in the way I read it, but I mean about real relaxation, of what is relaxation, because I would meet people that have been in the game for like 10, 14 years, and then we start to do a bit of freediving together, and I try to share my ideas, and then their brain just explodes, and some people even start crying, they go like, fuck, what did I do all my life, shit, like, this is insane, this is sick,
So
because
you open up doors. Hidden doors.
Sometimes, yes, because I see that it probably depends on people, but quite a fair amount of people are approaching it a little bit too aggressive. They push themselves too much. They try to, even me, like I at some point I realized that, that I'm, I have a potential in deep freediving, and I reached the point where there was this, where we lose the how to say, we slip, if that makes sense. You go by sensations and this and that, and then it becomes a sport, and then it becomes competitive, and then then you go, I need to get this target, by then, and then maybe sponsors involved, and it becomes even more complicated, and so I've slipped few times in my career, and like forget these feeling and sensations that I've started from, and so every time I catch myself and I bring myself back, because really, even if I wouldn't need to compete, if it wouldn't be a competitive discipline, I would still do it, and because I really love to be in the water, enjoy these sensations and emotionless.
But the competitive part right now, you more or less stopped, right? More or less, you're
for
more
a
focused
period
on
of time, because because of the very big demand in requests and coaching, and since I was sort of doing competing only to show what is possible. Does that make sense? Like, and it's like a marketing tool in a way, So so you use it as a, because there's a lot of people that they, if you don't dive deep, they wouldn't consider you as like person that would know. Although I know some coaches that they don't dive really deep, but they're really phenomenal people that are able to guide guys that are really deep. Eventually.
I believe also that's the exception. Normally, you don't have the guys teaching really deep freediving and not being able to dive deep.
Yes, it's exception, but it's possible. But then, like the early stages of my career, I realized I need to perform, and I need to show. It's so to back it up. So to back it up in
some self-marketing as well to put your name on the map.
Yes. No. Because I think in my career, the biggest step was vertical blue. Like in 2018, I did vertical blue, and I was like really struggling and trying to do stuff, and get customers, and then vertical blue, and it was just like really, it took my career to the next step. So vertical blue was a critical point, and also, just probably my realizations and understandings just got strong and resultiveness of
as a result.
No. I mean the all the people that came. Let's say 95% of people that train, they get the results. They want it. Yeah. Which creates a really good advertisement by itself.
Well, yes.
And that's actually was the biggest realization of myself, because I was always trying to do advertisement and this and that. And
but the best advertisement is if they are just bringing results and they are doing the advertising for you.
Just do the good job, you nail the work, every project you take on, you deliver, and it's going to bring 10 folds, 20 times folds, benefits, for you in the future, just a matter of time, and then he reached the point, because now it's quite complicated to control for myself, what I do. So I try to expand and, employ some people, to help me to deal with the stuff.
Expanding. I mean, now it's Touchdown. First, you had Touchdown in St. Petersburg.
Yes, it's still there. We opened the school in St. Petersburg, in Russia, and this was the origin of Touchdown. And now a couple of years gone by, and I'm here in Dahab. I've been living in Dahab for many years. So this is where I think I start to peak in my career, because I did really good job in Charm. I had a fantastic coach, Marco Nones. Yeah. Yes, he helped me to reach like 130 in No Limits. It was phenomenal. Actually, only now I started to realize how big it was and how quickly it actually happened, but everything is not without the reason, I was working really hard. I mean, for that,
I can tell from my own experience as well. I did wish exactly. It was some work involved, yes.
Yeah, so it's actually becoming a little bit antisocial, like nerd-like person that is focused on trying to, let's say, adjust all the systems to be able to adapt for that depth, And after I came to freelance in Dahab, and it was a really interesting time for me. And so I gained a lot of experience here, and I started to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And finally got invited to Vertical Blue, and here I've learned all the tips about the coaching from Marco Nones, and on top of that, many other athletes and top coaches, that I had an opportunity to communicate and to talk, and so and I think that all really combined this really strong foundation that helped me to bring results for the students.
But coming back to Touchdown here, so I mean, we are still in the middle of the pandemic, even if it's in Egypt it seems to be a little bit different, but other people stop their business, been forced to stop their business, and you start a new school. So it's quite the opposite. Congratulations on that. But how did it how did you thought about, like, okay, it's the middle of the pandemic, and now let's open a dive school, a freediving school?
So let's a little bit. It's not really like that. So the school was open a long time ago, and I am the school.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter where I go. But now what happened is that
the branding.
I was going for a really strong phase. Like in Russia, it was not that easy, to develop the school. Although we start to pick up some regular students, we opened the shop in there, selling some equipment. We represent brands like Palaez, Carbonia GFT, and Seawool Sub in Russia, and it was quite complicated, and. Maybe my realizations of about what business actually is, give me a slap a little bit to wake me up. And
so you needed pressure.
Yes, exactly. And it was really hard. And then I had to rethink, of my approach towards the whole idea of like teaching or coaching or like what should I do? What is touchdown in general? And when I came here, I was like a little bit, let's say, even burned out, after the whole experience in Russia. And I meet Adel, and he was like, Gus, can you help me to find some customers? Maybe you can bring some customers into the restaurant. And I've been already like cultivating this idea for years because I live here and we like use this place to accommodate us,
So you've been using that place anyhow before?
Yes.
Okay.
I was using this place already for years, but this time I was thinking like, maybe I should try to help the place, because I'm always just taking, because I'm just using the place, But I had this idea I would like to give, and not only to the place, but also to people a little bit. And I came up with this idea, and we actually call it now CoWork Space, because I needed this space anyway for myself to run my courses and workshops. But at the same time, the space is big enough to accommodate other instructors, And since here in Dahab, there's a lot of freelance people.
Yep.
So I just share the space with others and allow them to use the space, and they have opportunity to come here and bring their students and to use the facilities. We have a really nice yoga floor.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit dirty, but because of the dust.
I saw like Julia Tobler from Switzerland.
Yeah,
she is
yeah.
also doing the yoga here.
Yeah, we started like I really from the beginning. I always had this idea of having like a facility, that would be filled with professionals of their own field, that can collaborate and provide a really good service for people,
Yeah.
So
it's a great idea. It's not only for the customers, it's also for the freelancers a great
it's for
great
freelancers, but
opportunity
also
as well.
what I feel is that it takes freediving education to a different level. Why?
Yes.
Is because when we have more instructors that are teaching from one place, there is always, because freediving is quite new sport, and there is some, but I do it like this and I do it like that.
Sure.
So there's always an idea of challenge, So there's always some concepts and ideas are being challenged continuously, And
but he was explaining it like this to me, and now you're saying like this. So what is the best way?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I feel like what freediving has to, one or the other way, sooner or later, has to reach the point where it reaches the level where it's like, sun is shining, the water is wet, it's like that,
Yeah.
and nobody is having
Simplicity.
some simplicity, and so it's organic and there is no argument,
Yeah.
So I feel this, that I hope that the time will come, and the more we are like together, instructors, and share the concepts and ideas, we educate each other, because the biggest step
Educating also by challenging each other.
Exactly,
Yeah.
by challenging, but it has to be in a particular way,
Yeah.
without no aggression, without no, ideas of like, oh, I'm better, or like your shit, but it's more like exchanging and helping each other, like to deal with the situations, because there's different people, there's shitloads of situations, you know, that are really complicated and strange, and sometimes it's even like, okay, maybe people need a doctor, not a instructor.
Maybe there's some space for a doctor as well.
Maybe in the future we're gonna have a professional practitioner. You know?
Get a nicer sofa, people can lay down and have a nice session.
Yes. And so what I see is that when, especially the new instructors, okay, they go through all these like 0 to 0 or like whatever programs, they finish the instructor course, but their level of education is actually so low. It's really somehow sad a little bit.
You have these programs like from 0 to hero, and that's not really...
I don't want to judge. It's just the point is that the level that they leave the courses at is a little bit poor. Not a little bit, it's poor, and there is no after service. So like, I mean that the instructor finishes, he gets the certificate and he goes like, okay, now I'm instructor.
Yeah.
And then he gets this, like, I'm sure it's an ego thing that happens. He's afraid to admit that he doesn't know something, you know, and so he may be in a position that he has to hide things and come up with different bullshit and so on, you know, to cover his own incompetence in that field. And it's not about like saying that this is right or this is wrong or like they are like this. I was in the same situation, and the reason why I know, like I'm talking about this is because I went through it, you know, like, and only luckily, I don't know, like I take that to luck. Of course, hard work and patience and sacrifice and but in a way, it's fucking luck, you know, that I meet the right people
at the right moment,
in the right moment,
guiding
have particular
you
situations that help me to build my understanding, that helps me now to help people and create, you know, happy faces and good results, you know. And but so I hope that spaces like this is going to attract people to come here. And like, for instance, we have few instructors that are like really competent, like a lot of experience, and then some new instructors, you know, and they're always able to share, to ask, you know, and I encourage them, you know, like, if you don't know, just like come and say, and it's fine. Nobody's gonna judge you. Nobody's gonna, you know, think you're a retard and you don't know what you're talking about and so on. And we will try to find mutual ways out of the situations, you know, especially, you know, when the customers are coming, like, customers is a really I don't know, for some reason it's a really okay, people come and seek for knowledge, and you know, if you don't know, you don't know, but there's people that you can just come and say like, I have this situation, I don't know how to go about it, you know, and like this honesty, I think it would bring the education to like really quickly developing into a levels, you know, where there's more satisfaction, you know, because I keep meeting people, you know, that are like really not quite happy about the education that they receive, and complaining, and maybe even some people like stopping freediving, you know, because they would build a different and maybe a bit poor understanding about what it's about, you know, and what are we doing, you know, like, and mainly because of the reason that an instructor has no answers. He cannot answer, you know, he doesn't have all the answers, you know, like, well, at least, you know, like, and it just comes with experience. And I think if we would build more locations that accommodate more instructors, and like people are happy to come there and like share, and it's not only about like no, because, you know, like in a normal freediving center, you know, there's wages and stuff and like interest and I don't know where this is gonna go to, you know, but at the moment, like, I have my own thing, you know, and there's loads of space for others, you know, and they have their own stuff, and they can deal with their own things in their own way, you know, how they understand. But then if I can help in any way, by advice, by, supporting them, encouraging, and making sure that there's, less strange situations. I'm happy.
Let's see in a year.
So this is
where it
yes,
goes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we just need to see. This is the mission anyway behind Touchdown. What I think is just providing a good service. Making more happy people. Making sure that there's less strange situations, less injuries, less negative.
Sounds like a good way.
Shadow, for the sport, for the activity, that I think really deserves a lot of attention because it's a magic thing that happened to humankind.
Let's jump quickly out of freediving. Is there anything else what motivates you, like byside freediving? Is there anything else where you have a passion for, where you say like, oh, byside freediving, if I need to stop due to injury or something, this would be the thing? I don't know. Cooking. I don't know.
Cooking. Actually, I don't know. I like everything. It's really weird. Like, not weird, but I even need to calm myself down because I have.
So if I go with you tomorrow kiting and I say no freediving anymore, it will be kiting. Bam.
Maybe, yeah, I'm sure, because what I realized, that all through this moment that I was learning freediving, I learned to learn.
Okay, so you're interested in learning, just experience new things and educating yourself step by step, more and more.
So
like
I can explore anything. Like, and I like music, and I did a lot on that topic. Then I like climbing. Enjoy like a lot of aspects that's related to freediving, like yoga, swimming. I had to go through all the learning process, of trying to understand how it works.
Of course, for your competition part as well, like building up in the gym muscles.
Exactly. So, and there's many topics in which you have to really start to be able to understand, because you also need to explain that to your students and to people that you're guiding. Of course, the more there's topics, the less proficient you can be in all of them, because you cannot be...
you can't know everything.
Yes, exactly. So now maybe I'm starting to narrow down a little bit and to specialize more in few things, and I really like climbing. I find that it's...
which is really a thing now in Dahab.
Like, yes, exactly. I mean, we have amazing...
I talked with Vera mountains about it a couple of days ago, and she also said, like, the climbing thing is, especially due to the pandemic, or in this time, many people went now for climbing.
Yeah, but it's really, again, you have to reconnect with your body.
Yeah.
Nature is a meditation. You cannot be anywhere else when you are there.
I did it 2 times, and for me it was like also like similar to freediving. It's like a sport for yourself, and the climbing, when you're hanging in the wall, it's also like you are on your own somehow, and focusing just on the next little steps
in the moment, step by step.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
All right, let's slowly come to an end. Tell us, what are your favorite places for freediving? So what have been the favorite places when you need to call 3 or name 3? What would be the favorite places you've been for freediving? Is there anything?
Yes.
I guess so. At least you saw a little bit around the world.
I really like, yes, actually. Okay, so... Do I need to say place number, like...
you don't need to say number. If you want, you can. If you want, you can. But if you don't want to spoil the place, maybe you don't even name it.
Okay. Blue Hole, Bahamas is number 1.
Why?
I don't know. It's a mystical place, really.
Okay. The Devil's Hole. The Devil's Hole.
Yes, it's a mystical place. The whole thing, the island and everything, like, and the fact that you know how long it takes you to get there and so on. And like my journey was like really strange, and just like when I came there, maybe it's related to the fact that the reason why I started freediving was that I watched the video of Neri free falling.
And this is when you started.
Exactly. I saw this video and it was just like, and I say I will go to that hole and I'm gonna dive there. And then 7 years later, I did. You know.
It's where you did the first time you're 100 a plus. Huh?
Yeah. No, it was not first time, but officially first time.
Hello again, everyone. Little surprise. We had some technical issues we need to solve. We didn't find out till we edited the material. So now we're just gonna start again or resume where we ended, like the second favorite place from Gus, the Lithuanian rocket.
Yes.
So what is your second favorite place, Gus?
Yeah, the second favorite place is the place in Greece, close to Athens, is Loutraki. It's a beautiful place. It's the temple of Hera. Yes, and basically you have ruins there. You just come to the I think it's even a UNESCO protected area or something like that.
Like a heritage site.
Yeah, heritage site. And so you have like these ruins, and you are going down the hill into a small lagoon, and at the bottom there's like a little lagoon. It has like around 120 plus, like maybe 130, really close to the shore, like close in terms of, I don't know, 20 meters. Like I'm talking about from like stepping into the water, and there's it first is like a very slow incline, and then suddenly drops, and it has some like. Some cliffs around, like not too high, but like some cliffs that you can jump off. It's beautiful. Like in my mind, it just like I remember this place with a very warm feelings in my heart, you know. So I was sure that some Greek guys, Greek national team or something, is to train there for their competitions and so on. The only downside used to be a current there, and so. Although they have like they made some fixing points into the cliff, and then you can connect with the line, so it doesn't drift the buoy away from the location, you know. So that's the second place, Athens.
I never heard about this place, but I'm gonna check that one out because I'm normally outside the pandemic.
Worth visiting. Like I would even recommend, you know, if people like to travel and whatnot, you know, and haven't been in Acropolis, you know, so to go to Athens, in the Acropolis, then you get, I don't know, rent car or wherever. It's like not too far away to drive there by car, and and then do a bit of diving. There's some local guys that can help to, I don't know, sort your like weights and stuff and whatever, like if you need anything like equipment. Yes.
I think it's on the way to Kalamata, right? It's like in the middle between Athens and Kalamata. So the people who go to Kalamata by car from Athens, they could just do a little quick stop and dip into the water.
That's something to do also. I'm not sure actually. I'm like geographically, I didn't look into it in relation to Kalamata, but if you say so,
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I know at least somewhere where it is. But anyway, I will put it in the links below, and you guys can check it out by yourself.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, and the first place goes to.
No, it's the last place. Like the first place was the blue hole.
Yeah.
It's not really the last place. It's the third place.
Yeah. No. It's just like even Kaş. I love Kaş. It's in Turkey. It's close to Antalya. I think it's 3 hours drive from Antalya by car. It's a wonderful little town. It's a magic place. I you know, every time I go there, I just like dissolve. Does it make sense? You know, It's beautiful sceneries, like nice little islands. There is even like very close to the there's a Greek island actually very close to the coast, and some people are taking a ferry to get to this Greek island to go to the restaurants and whatnot, to enjoy. And so they have some wrecks, so they have an airplane wreck, they have the tank underwater, like around 10 meters.
Huge playground.
Yes. Like the price for like renting a boat for a day, I think is around between 200 and 300 euros, but for 10 people, so if you go there with a group, 20, 30 euros per person, I think it's nothing. But the local guys do amazing service, beautiful food, included in the price. They make like a massive meal, so we go there early, we go to one dive site, then another one, then we have a nice lunch. After that, we dive again, and you go back to the shore at around 4 o'clock. So I really enjoyed these trips. In between, when we have some time off from training, I've been participating there in a World Championship in Kash that was organized by locals, and is cosmic. It's really nice. Like I love the place. There's a freediving school that I go to always. I think it's Freediving Life Aquatics or something like that. Adnan is the owner of the school.
Yeah.
And lovely guy. He will help with everything, whatever needs to be done. Super organized, really. Really nice. Also, logistics. Because it's quite small. Everything is super handy. Like you don't need to go really far, and the city centers, like I'm talking as a small, like old town, some nice restaurants, wonderful food. Reasonable prices. The prices are really reasonable. Everybody is always raving about it, So every night you can eat something different, in a different restaurant. And there's even you can go to the mountains. There's some amazing how do you call them? It's like retreats, camps.
Okay.
Like if you want to isolate yourself a little bit, you go to the mountains, you stay with the nature and stuff like that. To get zone out.
So you can get everything in Kash.
Exactly. It's a perfect place.
Okay, understandable why it is on your list. But nothing beats Dahab, I guess.
Yes. So I'm not even talking about it. Like Dahab, I love it. It has its own ups and downs. Pros and cons, but that's why I'm here. Like I live here. People are amazing. We have amazing playground just in the background here. Today is a little bit rough, the sea, but most of the time we get favorable conditions for freediving. Like here in the bay, we have the depth is around we can get 70 meters. Of course, a little bit far away from the shore, but sometimes we use it, for stronger athletes that this depth is not critical. We use that spot. And then we have a blue hole just 25 minutes away from here. We go to Bakar. We spend their time in Aquamarina. We have a massive blue hole. 92, 94 meters. Someone was diving 96 in there.
With the shovel, I guess.
Yeah, we have to with the shovel, yes. There's a funny story, because some people are coming and doing some variable there, and they use sandbags for going down.
Yeah.
So we were telling them off because they will make the blue hole.
Exactly. If they do it, they need to take at least 10 kilo back.
Yeah, or we're gonna have to send one person with the sandbag, one person with a shovel. Yes. What else?
All right.
Yeah. So,
Final question. Your best experience in general, if you have one. Like if you can say like, okay, that's my highlight of freediving career or as a teacher
so yeah,
and a student.
so can I point out two highlights? Okay, two, but very short ones. So
All right.
The first one I think that would be the fact that I had an opportunity in the first place, but then I actually had to use it. You know, so I'm proud of myself that I didn't step back, and I was. I took a decision, you know, to move to Egypt and to train in only one apnea center, being
With
trained by
Marco?
Marco, you know. And yes, and I think that this would be a highlight of my career because that took me
Changed
to
everything.
completely new dimension. And the second one would be actually that after 7 years of freediving, I reached the location, you know, in Blue Hole in Bahamas, and I had the opportunity to participate in the competition. And that just, you know, like for me, it was so overwhelming. Like, I don't know, in a way, it seemed to me like, okay, like if I die tomorrow, you know, it's fine. You know, because I really felt like
you already reached everything.
Not in terms of I reached everything, but in terms of like the background, my background, you know, like when I was young, you know, I never would have dreamt to live this life, you know, and to be able to see these places. And the fact that I did, for me, is like just cosmic, you know, it just blew my head away. And when I was there, I was in the competition, like, you know, like this thing, they say if you can think, it can happen, you know.
Yep.
So I thought about it, and it materialized. And for me, it was like, oh shit, I can actually do stuff, you know, and things can happen, and like it's worth investing energy, and it's possible that you can achieve it, you know. So for me, it's really inspirational for myself, you know, and I use that as an example for other people, you know, because yeah, if someone would have asked me, you know, like when I was like a teenager or whatever, like, you know, would you do this, or like, not would you do that? What do you think about it? I would say, oh wow, but like I would never assume that I could actually be this person that I am today, you know, and seen these places and done the things that I did. So it's cosmic. It's insane.
All right, good. So thank you very much for your time, for the interview. It was a nice one.
Yes, I'm sorry for you for all the inconvenience that you had to experience.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, how could we know? How could we know? I mean, it looked everything fine, and then finding out that it's not possible. Finding out that it's not possible that the Sony camera is recording longer than 30 minutes and just cutting. Anyhow, I'm super thankful you managed.
We got it done.
And so you promised if there are some comments, you will answer the comments below on YouTube.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah. I'll do my best. You're gonna remind me about that.
Yeah. I will. All right. Don't forget to follow Gus. I will put the links below. And yeah.
Yeah, touchdown.
Touchdown, Kaluna Freediving. And don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Ciao, guys. All the best.
All the best.